Om Shanti, good morning. Welcome all of you to the Self-Care Sunday series and welcome to the Values Workshop Part 2. So let's take a minute of silence. Let's go inside, invoke the Supreme Being. And tell yourself, I am ready for the workshop today. Which will help me in realizing my own inner values. And through various exercises today, give me a chance to reflect on those values and thereby help me in inculcating those values within me. So with this beautiful thought and with the Supreme Being with us, let's go on to the workshop. So welcome all of you. I am actually new to the Self-Care Sundays in the sense it's my first time, but Kosha has been your very old-time facilitator. So Kosha, why don't you start with your thing and then I'll carry on. Okay.
Okay. Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome to Self-Care Sundays VIHASA workshops. And as always, thank you so much for taking time out on a Sunday to be with us. So some of you who've joined us before might already know we do this once a month on a Sunday, where we go through these lovely activities where we recharge and re-energize ourselves and just go a little deeper to figure out a little more about who we are and how we can improve our lives. So we've got Manoj Bhai, who is going to be facilitating with us, and Pooja Ben, who's also going to be helping us out today. So welcome to our new facilitators in this workshop. And it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful session. And we've got some, new ways of doing these activities. So it's going to be fun. So I'm going to ask Manoj Bhai. So maybe we could just introduce ourselves before we jump right in, the facilitators. So Manoj Bhai, do you want to start?
Yeah, thank you. I think I know quite a few of you all, but I have to formally introduce myself. I am from Pune. The name of the Lokik name is Manoj, and I specialize in kidney problems in children. We call it pediatric nephrology. And I am attached to a few hospitals here as a consultant, and I have my two own private clinics. And apart from that, as far as my VIHASA journey goes, I'm with VIHASA since 2014. So it's almost 7 years now. And I love interacting with people on this online platform as well. It's the first time I'm joining yourself, Sunday Care. I'm sure it's an ongoing thing. Once a month, we'll definitely meet. So thank you, Kosha sister.
Thank you, Manoj Bhai. Pooja Ben, would you like to quickly introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Kosha. Thanks for this opportunity as well. And Om Shanti, everybody. Good morning. I'm originally from Mumbai, in fact, from Juhu Center, but I relocated to Nagpur in October 2019. And since then, I've been here helping out online with VIHASA. Otherwise, I've been connected with VIHASA since 2008. So it's nice to see everybody. Today is my first time with self-care Sundays. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So great. Let's have some fun and a nice time in the next 2-3 hours.
Thank you so much, Pooja Ben, for being with us here today. And for those of you who are new and don't know me, my name is Kosha. I'm an artist and illustrator by profession. I've been with the Brahma Kumaris for a little over 6 years now, and I've been facilitating VIHASA workshops for the last 3 or 4 years. And it's been an amazing journey. So always a pleasure to be here with all of you today. And so with that, we'll just begin with a small introduction to what VIHASA is for those who are joining us for the first time and don't really know what it is. So Manoj Bhai will take us through a little bit of an introduction before we jump into the activities. So over to you, Manoj. Bye. Thank you.
Sure, Koshaben. So let me just share the screen and tell you what VIHASA is all about, because a few people who are new, it's an acronym. So let's dive into what VIHASA is all about. Uh, yeah, so I'll just minimize this. Yeah. Okay, so you can see it's the acronym stands for Values in Healthcare, a Spiritual Approach. And this program is basically developed by the Janki Foundation. The Janki Foundation is also called the Foundation for Spirituality in Healthcare. Let me tell you a bit about this foundation. It is named after our very own, I must say, angel now, Dadi Janki, who is no more with us, but in an angelic form, she's with us. And if I can just ask others to mute themselves because there's a lot of background noise, or if we can just mute the participants for some time. Yeah, thanks. So, this Janki Foundation, Dadi Janki, inspired this foundation to be created, and it is in her name. And she, served in the United Kingdom, London, England, I must say, and established the centers all over the place from there, because London is our international coordinating office of the Brahma Kumaris. And she served there from 1974 till 2007, a phenomenal almost 45 years. And I'll tell you a brief about this. As you can see, this is our entire booklet. We call this a VIHASA Bible. It's a full pack. It has extensive resource material for you to go through if you are interested in becoming a facilitator like us. And it has also got these two beautiful CDs, which have a lot of background meditation music for you to enjoy and play it during your sessions. So let us come to what this VIHASA, how did it come into being? So as I told you about Dadi Janki, she was 104 years when she left the body, a very dynamic person, and also labeled as the most stable mind in the world by the scientific world of the United States of America. I will not go in those details how she's stable mind. It will be another story. So let us come to the VIHASA per se. You can see these beautiful faces around. These are the names and their titles, their job titles are mentioned in front of you. So Dadi Janki was once admitted to an NHS hospital in the UK. She had some chest infection. And when she saw that the doctors and nurses who came there for the rounds to look after her, they were not very happy intrinsically. They may just say, hello, Dadi, how are you? And wave goodbye. But Dadi, is a person, as I said, she's a very stable mind. So she can sense the vibrations of the person in front. So she told the sisters over there, the Brahma Kumari sisters locally, that we should do something for these people, because otherwise also the medical professionals, we are going through a lot of tough times, the COVID times. So, and with a lot of violence, particularly in India, against doctors, where people even serve, but people are being violent towards them, and doctors are and nurses timelessly serving them. So they are undergoing a lot of low self-esteem and a low self-morale as well. So addressing these two issues, Dadi asked these group of people who you can see specialize in the study of mind. So they are psychologists, psychiatrists, and so these people sat together, and Dadi told them that you have to do something for these people, in the sense you have to introduce spirituality in their lives so that they feel awakened from inside, and then that smile which is not there outside, or the plastic smile which is there outside, is replaced by your inner genuine smile, but without using the words which they can't relate to. So don't use the word Atma, that is soul, and don't use the word Paramatma, which is God, because the Western culture, the people there really are atheists. They don't believe in the existence of God. So she said, do something, make them eat something what they like. So that's what they came into being. So this group of people, they I think brainstormed for around 4 years and came up with this beautiful VIHASA pack, which I told you. It's a modular program, and it is fully based on the principle of, as you can see, it's on the right hand side, it's written, the basic principle I say is, heal thyself, which will make you healthy. So healthy word itself has that heal thyself in it. There are three basic principles of VIHASA. The first principle revolves around this. We used to call it, because this program was initially developed for healthcare professionals, so we call it Physician Heal Thyself. But this program is no more restricted only to medical and paramedics at all. It applies equally to all professionals, and it applies actually to everyone, every individual as well, because it gives emphasis on how do I heal myself. That's the basic first principle. And when how do you heal yourself? I'll just tell you simply how do you can do that. When you sit in groups with each other, and when you are reflecting on something, what really happens is you start opening up. And when you start opening up, which shows you have started sharing with the other people, and you don't even realize that your healing has already started. Because once you start opening up with people, you start sharing with them, your healing starts taking place. So that's the first key principle. The second is, we call this as FEL, facilitated experiential learning. In this, as you can see, we are now almost around say 33 participants, all from different backgrounds. So we don't have anything common that way professionally, but as individuals, we are those unique energies, those soul energies which are interacting with each other, and everyone has a beautiful life experience of their own. Everyone is mature in their profession, so we don't need to really look into what they are doing at their job. But these are all the soft skills, I must say. Here we look at those soft skill development, whereby we look at how people are interacting with each other. Are they able to relate to themselves on an individual level, on an energy level, and can they learn from each other? So I'm sure you'll be having a beautiful learning today from this. And we as facilitators like myself, Kosha Bhen and Pooja Bhen, are just, I must say, facilitators. We are not your teachers. We are not going to give you lectures. This is the only first lecture for that matter. Facilitation simply means we are there to make your journey easy. That's it. But ये आपके लाइफ की गाड़ी है, आपको खुद ही चलानी है. हम थोड़ा सा आपको धक्का स्टार्ट करके देंगे, but आपकी यात्रा आपको खुद ही तय करनी है. And the third thing is, whatever in this 2 hours now, you'll be learning quite a few things about values today. That's the module today which we are doing. Make sure that it doesn't remain here. Yahan ki yahan na rahe. Whatever you have learned and picked up from the session, make sure you apply it back into your either your daily personal life or in your professional life. So that is what we call the action planning mode, whereby we'll be having an exercise in the end. We'll actually, I must say, not force you, but we'll try to make sure that you go with some action planning so that you can just translate whatever you have learned here back to your personal and professional life. So these are those, it's a modular program. So as I told you, there are many modules. There are basic 8 modules which we do: values, peace, positivity, cooperation, compassion, valuing yourself, building resilience, and spirituality in healthcare. Since quite a few people are new, so I thought I just need to speak out the names, and we are doing the module on values. The part 1 was covered last month, but please don't worry. People who have joined new may feel, oh my God, we have missed last time. So हमने कुछ बहुत तो miss नहीं कर लिया. It's not like that. Every module is actually, I say, mutually exclusive. And every part 1 also, part 2 is different from part 1. So you won't be missing, though they are interlinked with each other, but the exercises are totally independent also. So you won't be missing if you have missed something in the part 1. So don't worry about that. And as you can see, I'm not going into the details of each of this, that what is this, but let me just give you a few examples. Like this is beautifully written in the Vibgyor color. Our life is full of values, and our life has color because of values. So this way, you can see it starts from the violet end and going up to the peace end, which is the Vibgyor spectrum. All of you know that, the rainbow colors. And underpinning all these is the first module, which is, as you can see, white color. What does white signify? Peace, purity. But what does white tell you otherwise scientifically? It's a blend. All these colors, when you mix the rainbow colors, they just become white. And that is really, if you are able to inculcate the values in your life, as mentioned over there, you really become very strong person. Actually, हिंदी में कहते हैं, जो भी हमारे गुण हैं वो हमको शक्ति देते हैं. So गुण से शक्ति मिलती है. And at Brahma Kumaris, we are taught this very beautifully through the regular teachings, which we call Murlis, that how to inculcate these values in your life so that they become a power. Like, for example, I must say, Sahanshilta, tolerance is a value or a virtue. But when you start doing meditation and when you develop that in yourself, it helps in improving your Sahin Shakti. So the power of tolerance develops through that. We use a few spiritual tools here, 7 spiritual tools. The first one is meditation. Meditation simply means to take care of your mind. At this moment, it is 10:17 in the clock. What is my mind thinking? This concept is now taken up by the West as mindfulness. So, mindfulness is very closely related to meditation, whereby I need to just keep checking constantly. What am I thinking? Am I in the present moment? Am I enjoying this moment? Is my mind in the past or in the future? So, those few things. And basically, trying to give a new direction to the mind, trying to convert those whatever say waste thoughts, purposeless thoughts into something pure, positive, and purposeful thoughts. The second tool which we use is visualization. As you can see, it's about the eye, and it is nothing about these physical eyes. What we call it's about the third eye. All of you know in the Hindu culture, it's the tradition of putting the tika here. So why the tika is put here? It is to awaken your, or rather I must say, empower your third eye. So visualization is a very important tool which is used in many professions, particularly I must say sports professionals use it, whereby they are taught how to visualize, which means to foresee things that you are winning, you are really achieving something. So they they play the game only after they visualize that success is there. So this is really a big tool in which is used in knowledge. So there's a difference between visualization and imagination. Visualization is something which is of the real world, and imagination is something like dreams. Therefore, we say dreams are imagined. We never say dreams are visualized. The third thing which you will be constantly doing in all the exercises is reflection. So reflection simply means, as it's mentioned here, appointment with self. You all are so lucky, you know, those fortunate souls, I must say 38 now so far, on this Sunday morning where people have many other things to do. And maybe they get up late. That's the first thing to start with. And they may be just still idle in bed. They'll say, hi, it's a Sunday, but you all have really got up. Maybe you all have had breakfast as well, and you all are up in this workshop. Because basically you all value yourself. That's important, I feel. If you start valuing self, that you know it is, I have to take care of myself, then you will really start reflecting much more better than otherwise. So reflection is, we'll give you an exercise, tell you that go back in that, and when you have started, when your mind has started working on that, in Hindi we call it Manan Chintan, then that is a true reflection. Also you can say contemplation, another word. Contemplation means deep thinking, thinking at a deeper level. We have quite a few playful exercises here. We use the tool of playfulness. Why we say playfulness? Because it's a important tool which children use. And if you can become childlike with this tool, which means it will totally help you in de-stressing fully. And a child is so nice and flexible, and I must say, he is so masoom as well, the word in Hindi, innocent. So if you go back to your original innocence, that purity within from the soul can then come out naturally. There are many exercises where you have to practice listening. Next tool which we use, it is active listening. Listening, not hearing. Hearing is more at a superficial level, casual level, and listening is more at a deeper level, which induces healing. The sixth one we use appreciation. All of us remember the mode which we are in VIHASA is always called appreciative inquiry, whereby when you are interacting with each other in groups, make sure that this genuine appreciation comes from within. And if you are a pure soul inside, with all the other tools, you have really made yourself so pure, appreciation will naturally come, and you'll always be in an appreciative mode. And lastly, all these exercises are full of creativity, I must say, because creativity is a function of the right brain, whereas the left brain is thought to be more logical. So if in our professional development we are taught to use the left brain more and more, the right brain shrinks actually, not in a physical level, but in the functioning level, we are not so creative. So VIHASA is a beautiful way to help increase your creativity. And as I told you, we are just there to facilitate, to make things easy for you. And this is a very important Chinese proverb. If I hear something, I forget. So therefore, there's no lecturing here after this. I see something, I remember, but when I do something which you will be doing today, you will be understanding. And all this, remember, is a very supportive environment. We all three facilitators are there to provide you not only mental support, but also there'll be a lot of background music when we do meditation. So the entire environment becomes very conducive for healing. And this is our website, vihasa.in. You can feel free to visit that. So with this, I'll just stop the sharing and over to Sister Kosha.
Shanti, everyone. So that was very wonderfully, Manoj Bhai explained to us what is VIHASA, why we do these workshops, and how it basically came into being. So with that, we'll jump into a quick icebreaker activity just so that we get to know each other a little more. So since we are 38 of us, what I would request is I'll put a question on screen. We'll just think about it for a moment, and some of you who want to maybe just very quickly in one sentence share your name, what you do, and the value. And otherwise, for all the other people, you can also share it on the chat box. So let's just for a moment think back to our childhood, or even right now when we're learning something. Think of a teacher that you admire the most. So think of someone who has taught you anything in life, and what value did you notice that you admire in them? Okay, so let's just take a moment. Whenever you're ready, please feel free to unmute yourself and share, or you can just write down your values in the chat box. Whenever you're ready. Yes, Mukta Behan.
Yes, so the teacher I admire the most is Swaroop Sampath.
Mhm.
And
The value.
the reason, I think I don't understand when you say what is the, but I love the way she has the lives of underprivileged children with her life skill teachings, you know.
Yeah. So you like the way she is, maybe the way she talks, or the way she conducts herself, or the way she explains?
Yes, it is very fun way of teaching, you know, which is what I
Okay.
love about it.
So she makes
Yes,
other people enjoy learning. That's
absolutely.
lovely. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So
Thank you.
anyone else? So welcome, Vela brother. You have unmuted yourself. Would you like to share something?
Yes,
Welcome.
I'm on this third program. I'm from Sri Lanka, Kandy. I've been with the Brahma Kumaris for last 25 years, and I've been practicing pharmaceutical sciences for last 45 years. The teacher whom I love was an absolutely loving person, and she never differentiated between any of the students, treated everybody alike, gave the same love to each one. Thank you.
That's lovely. Thank you. So unconditional love to all. So equality. That's a beautiful value. Thank you so much. Anyone else would like to share something about a value of one of the teachers that they admire the most? We've got a lot of comments in the chat box as well. Pooja Ben says that her geography teacher, because patience and understanding. I'm just going to cut it a little short so we can cover them all. Lita says the value that she admires is dedication. Then Karishma says that her teacher's name is Koshi and the value is extremely patient and understanding. I'm just going to read out some values now. Shama Behan says simplicity. Another one says admire being fair and just. Always loves the students and loving, kind, practical. Okay, we've got Dr. Kanade who has also unmuted themselves. Would you like to share something, Doctor?
Yes, madam. Om Shanti. Myself, I am taking about a teacher in the high school who has taken the care. Those are students likely to be, they live in the villages, they leave the schools They are taking the care, they are taking the good teaching. If they are poor, they are helping the students. Means care, helping, and teaching honestly.
Wow, that's lovely. So care, helping, and
Yeah,
honestly
yeah.
teaching, selfless.
Teaching.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Sorry. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think Deepak brother has also unmuted themselves. Would you like to share something?
Yes. I am from Burma, Rangoon. We had a teacher, Shreya Thomas, was very nice. It's way back in 1960s. Yeah. Very nice, very cool, and very understanding.
So what is the value that you really admire?
Brother Felix also, who was the director of our school, St. Peter's, was also very nice, very. I still remember him. He is from
So
Germany. He
brother,
was from Germany.
would you like to tell us a few values that you like about them?
Beg your pardon? The values.
Like, yes, like particular things that you like about them, like the values that they lived with, which you admire a lot.
Yeah, that way of teaching, the way of expression, and try to inculcate good things. That is what I was.
That's lovely. Thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you for joining us all the way from
Please
Burma.
provide your telephone number of Manojji.
Yeah, so maybe he can just get in touch with you later.
The chat box, so that we can connect.
Yeah.
Sure,
group?
sure, Deepak. I'll just type it. I'll type it for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So does anyone, maybe we could take one more sharing of somebody before we move on to the activities. Does anyone else want to share something by unmuting themselves? We have a lot of sharings on the chat box already. Anurag, rather, would you like to share something?
Om Shanti, happy Sunday to everyone.
Om Shanti.
There are so many teachers who've added so much value to my life. It's hard to identify, one particular one, but then the value I think they've added, particularly, I'm a hotelier. I did my hotel school. I come from service background. So there used to be a food and beverage professor. He always taught me to, the abbreviation he would use is identify, anticipate, and supply, IAS, which I always remember in my day-to-day job, be it professional or personal. So, and he was very hardworking, very sincere, very consistent. So sincerity, hard work, and consistent service provider, the way you would like to be treated. That's how he taught us. Treat everybody the way you like to be treated.
That's lovely. And that's such a beautiful value that we can actually apply in all aspects of our life, right? So that is, the values that have come out are so amazing from everyone. Okay, Prajakta Ben has unmuted themselves. Maybe this is the last sharing before we move on to the activities. Prajakta Ben, would you like to share?
Good morning and thank you, Kosha, and Om Shanti to all. I have had wonderful teachers in my life, from where my journey started and where I am today. So my respect and pranam to everyone. Before I tell one teacher, it's difficult, but the values, what I admire from my teacher is honesty and sincerity. One of my Marathi teacher in my school days, what she told me is, whatever you do, we call it as niguti. Niguti means with mindfulness, what everybody is talking about. We learned way back in 80s that niguti means you have to give your more than 100% in anything you do, and you don't have to worry about the result. So that is the value in everything I do, small little thing. It has to be done with 101%. So I still it is a part of me, giving 100% in everything that I do. Thank you,
and
Kosha,
especially for you being in the hospital right now and dealing with all this, it's so much more important.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So lovely. So I'm sorry, we will not be taking any more sharings for this icebreaker activity because we'll just move on to the activities now. But everyone who didn't get to share for the icebreaker, please do participate in the activities, and we have many more opportunities to share. And also, you can have a look at the chat boxes for some beautiful values that have come out from teachers. One of them says, dynamic personality of the teacher who made the boring subject of history interesting. So I guess a lot of us can relate to those kind of teachers who made subjects for us so interesting, and maybe some of us ended up in those careers. So thank you so much, everyone, for participating in the icebreaker session. And with that, we can move on to the first activity of the day, which is actually going to be very interesting. It's called a high point in my working life. So what we're going to do now is in part one, we kind of had gone a little deeper into the values to figure out what values are. And now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what are the values that I have used before. Okay, so in this exercise, it will be really helpful if you have a pen and paper with you, just to note down a few points that you might be, some insights that you might get out of this activity. So I would request you to just grab a pen and paper before we do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit for a while, maybe just for a minute or two, and think. Look back onto our working life, okay? And it doesn't matter whether you're working from home, you're working in office, you're working in a hospital, whatever work you're doing, look back into your everyday working life and just think, when was a time, like a particular instance or maybe a day at work, where everything was so good, everything was working out well, you felt alive, you felt creative, you felt that, you loved the work that you were doing and you were very happy with your working life. So let's just sit and think back to that moment. When was that one instance? It could be more than one, but let's try and think of one instance where you just enjoyed everything about your work. Okay, so I'm just going to play some soft music and you can just try and think of that moment. Okay, and one more thing that I want you to think about is what made it successful or memorable. So, what made you feel truly special about this day, about this moment that where everything in your working life was going, very well, very smooth. You were enjoying the work, you were enthusiastic about it. So, what is it about that day or about that moment in your working life that made it so memorable and successful? If you have any doubts, please feel free to unmute yourselves and ask or write it down in the chat box, and we'll try and answer your doubts if you have any. And now I want you to just think of the value that you might have used or that might be around you when everything was going so good. So maybe we could just note down a few values that you feel are important to your story? Like of that day when everything was going good, which values come up and jump up to you and say, okay, this probably is why everything went smooth that day. Okay. So, does anyone need more time? Okay. So, I think everyone is done. I'm getting people telling me in the chat box that they're done. So, maybe we could just share our experiences, and I would request Manoj Bhai to take note of whatever values we share. So
Yeah, sure.
whoever's ready to share some values that came up when everything was working fine in their working life. So what were the values that were in action during that high point of your working life? So whoever's ready to, unmute themselves and share. Lipta is raising her hand. Yes, would you like to share something?
Yeah, the values at that particular time was empathy, the right kind of knowledge, and the dedication. That gave a lot of satisfaction because I could actually heal the person who had come to me. So
that's lovely. That's lovely. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
So we've got Dr. Kanade also who's unmuted themselves.
Yeah. Madam, that I don't want to state the situation. In that situation, I had taken the quick decisions. That value was the help and kindness.
Help and kindness. Thank you so much. Thank you. We've got Shama Ben who's also raised her hand. Shama Ben, would you like to share?
Yeah, hi, good morning. Can you all hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Of course, hardworking and simplicity, what I have seen in my earlier gurus, but it was difficult to bring into practice. But then when I started getting healed, I decided I want to give back to the society. And that's how the 360-degree angle came a change for me, just because of the thought that whatever I have got from the nature, the naturopathy and the yoga, I want to give it back. And unbelievably, the way things started working out for me and people started getting healed, so that gives me, it's not one incident for me, but it's a everyday story that I get blessings and I feel like giving more and more. So it's like I just have one feeling very strongly today: hard work and so many other things will keep on happening. But at the same time, if you have just one thing that you want to give to the society, that feeling itself is too much. And I feel really blessed to be, that I'm into this profession and I can give more and more. Thank you so much.
People. Thank you so much. So we've got Raksha Ben who's raising her hand.
Hi.
Yes.
So this is my first Sunday with you all. Om Shanti. I look back into. Thank you. I look back at a couple of incidents, and I think one thing that came consistent was the thrill that I can create something so beautiful. And the values that I carried through this was being a risk taker, consistency and dedication, and trust in the process, along with courage and strength, of course. But yes, I think that was one of the main. Yeah, thank you so much. This was a lovely activity.
Could you repeat the values? Risk taking, consistency,
dedication, trust in the process, and strength and courage as well.
Wow, that's lovely. Thank you so much for adding to these wonderful values.
Thank you.
So Vela brother has also unmuted themselves. I would also request people who haven't already shared, if you want to share something, it would be lovely. So yes, brother Vela, would you like to share your values?
Newness, learning with zeal and enthusiasm, respecting elders,
Yeah.
and cooperating unconditionally.
Okay, so newness, learning with zeal and enthusiasm, respect, cooperation. Anything else that we've missed?
Respect. Respect is there.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for these lovely values. Prajakta Ben. So I would also request people who haven't really shared yet, you could just unmute yourselves and add. We would love to hear from people we haven't heard from yet. So till then, Prajakta Ben, we would love to hear your sharing.
Yeah. Thank you, Kosha, once again. So as you know, I work in the hospital, and I have a big team. So the teamwork and cohesiveness is so important. So I feel very high when, especially during the meetings, when, the senior team members are with me. And if it is very much successful, where there's teamwork very evident, it makes me feel so good. And the values which I have observed, which, brings the same feeling is love. When there is love among team members, respect for each other, honesty, mindfulness, cooperation, and courage to share, whatever is not going so right and how as a team we can deal with that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Neelam Ben, you haven't spoken in a while and it's lovely to have you back. Would you like to share something?
Om Shanti and very good morning to one and all. Yes, Koshaben, I was doing my studies during Sunday morning classes, so I did not join. And today is the first Sunday that I am done with my exam. I was doing one of the Indian languages, Sanskrit, and that's how I have joined today. No, I'm enjoying. I have already done. Thank you. Thank you so much. No, I have done it. So let other people have a chance now. In fact, I think values I'm repeating today.
Yes, because we were kind of going back and starting them all over again.
Yes.
But still, if you have one or two values you would like to add to the list, you're more than welcome.
Yes, I will add something here that I have one of my own experience. We were doing some changes in Eastern languages. And when I started teaching here in South Africa, I did not like the way we were carrying on the old method. And some of the three of us actually came up with the idea how to teach in a new manner to the people, to the students, learners. Gujarati or Hindi is not their first language, but it's their third language. And how are we going to make it interesting? And we had held one kind of like workshop, and that was my high point in my working life, I will say. And we changed like totally. It was like the people, the old teachers and the old believers, they said, oh no, how come this, that? And we said, no, we're going to present it to you, how it can work. And it was really successful and it was very nice. So I like to come out of the something in very routine and do something, create something new. That's what I like in my work. And you definitely need a lot of support, understanding, and respect to each other, and that faith, that confidence you need. And when you have all these qualities, it does work. Thank you.
True. That's lovely. Thank you for sharing that. So understanding, support, respect, creativity, such lovely values that are coming out from everyone. So I'll also read a few that have come up on the chat. Dr. Bhavna says, the starting phase of my career when I was quite enthusiastic under my supportive boss. So supportive boss, support. And people with whom I was working, every day was full of learning and appreciation. So learning and appreciation is also beautiful values coming up. So, okay, sincerity, honesty, faith in self. Pooja Ben says organizing events for hospital was my high point. Teamwork made it special, and the value was cooperation. So teamwork, cooperation. Again, Ajit brother says honesty, integrity, teamwork, commitment. Jignesh Bhai says creativity, zeal, dedication, and this is because of constant level of high engagement. So that is for product creation. So I mean, from these beautiful list of values that are in front of us, we see that usually in our working life, we don't work alone, right? We're not in isolation. Usually, we have teams of people who we work with, clients who we interact with. If we're doctors, and we have patients to look after, and other support staff. So, um, we are constantly in touch with other people, and it kind of affects the entire balance of things. So, the way you handle those relationships, the way you approach your work. So, we've got dedication for work, good decision making, and then courage and faith in self. A lot of people are saying self belief, motivating ourselves, empowering ourselves. Um, Also, when we're working with teams, support, appreciation, learning from each other, understanding each other, respect, consistency towards our work, dedication, strength. So these are beautiful values. And now that we know that when I applied these values into my working life, I could see that I was at a high point in my working life, in my career, where I was happy. I loved doing what I was doing. I was feeling creative. So now that we know the values that went into bringing about those kind of feelings, maybe food for thought could be that maybe if I use the same values again when I'm approaching my work life, I could probably get the same result. So if I do my work with more dedication, with more zeal and enthusiasm, if I trust and support my team members, maybe I could feel more of this high point, and I could have a lot more high points in my working life. So that was kind of the basis of this exercise for us to really think what worked last time and can I apply that again to make it work next time as well. And because each of us come from a unique situation, that might be different for each one of us, but just something to think about. And Deepak Bhai also says agile methodology where developing code. So daily team huddles, helping each other, learning new stuff, cooperation. So, beautiful, beautiful values. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating in this activity. And I really hope that people who haven't shared yet can, unmute themselves and share their experiences in the next activity. The next activity is going to be interesting. Manoj Bhai is going to take us through the next activity, and this slide will be shared with you later. So we've got a WhatsApp group that we've made where after every session, we share the slides and the sharings that have happened. We put it on that group so that we can all just take back from it, right? And remember the values that have come out. So we'll share the link to that WhatsApp group with you on chat a little later. And whoever's interested, you can just join the group. There is no spamming on it. This is all we will be sharing. So thank you so much for this lovely activity. And Manoj Bhai, thank you so much for noting it down so beautifully. And maybe we could move on to the second activity, which is, yeah.
Values that matter most to me. Okay, thank you, Koshavan, and thank you all the participants. So I'm sure your conscious layer of mind is now fully saturated with all these values. Nothing else you're thinking at 10:51. It's all values inside. So let's go a bit more in the depth in the next activity. I'll just make it full screen because otherwise we were not able to type it. So now I'll make it full screen. Yeah, so values that matter most to me. It's a beautiful tree, a very old tree. You can see that tree. There are many values which you can identify with a tree actually, but let me not go there. Values that matter most to me. This exercise is, let me just give you a pre-thing of how to go in this activity. You have told us many values. So what happens in life, we use some values which are actually a part of our system, and we feel that is something very natural for me to use that value. So that could be something very close to me. Or second thing is completely opposite, I must say, that you feel that I always lack this value. For example, I get upset, I get irritated, I get angry with people. So the value of peace is something which I feel is lacking in me. So it could be anything that matters most to you, either that you have it in abundance, you are using it so much, or it could be that you want to develop that in yourself. So you decide about that. That is something personal. So if you look at this, so reflect in this activity, what you have to do is reflect on the list of values on the next slide. I'll be showing you the slide immediately now. But I would also want to say that I have told you just now in the next last 2-3 minutes that if you feel that on that slide there are values which you don't want to pick up, that's totally fine. Whatever 3 values you want to identify, which I told you, ones which you are lacking or ones which you're already using, that are the ones which matter most to you, you can even feel free to write that. So otherwise, the activity is telling you that identify 3 values that matter most to you and reflect on how you might express them in your personal qualities or actions. So we are trying to take you now towards the action planning mode, whereby, as I told you in VIHASA, what happens is we start the exercises, and initially we are more on the conscious layer. The value is now in the conscious layer of your mind. Now we are trying to go more in the depth in the subconscious and trying to feed that subconscious with something, ingrain it fully so that I can use it in my action planning, in my workplace, or even at personal, in the personal space. So these are the list of values. This is a handout, what we call. In the real world, we used to really give it as a handout, but everything is soft nowadays. So we are giving you a soft copy in front of you now. So look at this. I'll give you a bit of time for reflection, another 4-5 minutes, and choose 3 values which are important to you from this, and then I'll tell you what to do. I'll play some music in the background. Koshaben, I hope the music is audible.
It could be a little louder, actually. I can't hear much.
Okay. It's audible though?
Yes, yes. Now
It's audible. Okay.
it's nice. Good.
And just make sure those 3 values you have to hold on to till 12 tonight, today afternoon, because there are many things we'll be doing with those 3 values. So make sure you choose them diligently and work on them later. So
Can you get that slide back?
Yeah. So Lita, if you can just mute yourself. I hope Leeta know what to do. The previous slide doesn't have much. This is the list where you have to pick up from. Okay, so I'm sure now with this beautiful music in the background, you're going in a very meditative and healing mode, and you have picked up those three values. Stop that now, and let's move on further. So what you have to do is now you have to remember those three values which you have already written down and write them down on the sticky notes on the Jamboard. So the link we'll be sharing in the chat box. I'll just share it for you in a minute. And what you have to do is you have to click on that link. Someone, yeah, Kosha, thanks.
Yeah,
I was just
the
copy
link.
pasting it. Thanks, yeah. Okay, I think you are doing this part. You want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. I'll just explain how it is done
Okay,
to
okay.
everyone, how Jamboard works. So basically you have to click on this link, and I'll just share my screen and show you where it's gonna take you. So it's gonna take you to this Google Jamboard, okay? And basically here, a lot of you who are signing in from your phones might have to install the Jamboard app. But you can see my screen and you can see the controls here on the left. So this one, the fourth one, is called sticky note. When you click on it, this is going to come up. You can choose the color of your sticky note. You can choose the value, and you can just say save. So it's going to pop up on the screen, and then you can move it and place it somewhere. Okay, like this. So you can just play around with it, add 3 sticky notes, and just put it on the screen that you see. If anyone has any questions, please do let me know, but it's very easy. All you have to do is click on the fourth tool, which is the sticky note tool, type one word, one value, and just place it on the screen. If anyone has any issues, please feel free to let us know.
So once all of you in the next 3-4 minutes, once you finish doing that, I'll tell you what next to do. So if you can just put those three. If you haven't written three, even two are fine, or even one is fine if you are not comfortable putting two. But at least three or even minimum one.
And all these are anonymous, so we don't know who is putting what. So you can just put any 3 of your values that you have chosen. Like Manoj Bhai said, how many ever? 2, 3, 1, whatever's comfortable, but just try and put whatever values you want on screen. I'm just going to delete this sheet. Try not to draw on the screen. Let's just stick to sticky notes if that's okay. Just so that it doesn't So for those of you who can't install or download the app, if you sign in from your laptops, you don't need to install the app. Then you can just go through your browser. You just have to copy paste. You can try that on your phone where you copy the link and you paste it on a Chrome browser or something. But it works better on laptop than on phone. On phone, when I tried it, I had to install the app. So for those who are having trouble with it, maybe you can just have a look if you can't, add your own sticky note, or you can tell me your value and I'll try and put a sticky note for you. Okay, so we've got a lot of values already. Okay, so only those who cannot do this themselves can give me the values, okay, and I'll add it for you. For those who can do it themselves, please do. Okay, so I think one of the people who had given me the values, I have put them up. Manoj, if you want to.
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
If we have, if we have time, we can allow some more.
No, that's okay. It's fine. Many people have put in, and I think people are writing in the chat box also. So simultaneously, you are writing it down. That's good. Okay. So see, we have quite a few, almost, I must say, 25, 30 now. Actually, the moment I'm picking up on them, I can see there's something behind as well. I was amazed.
There are quite a few.
Yeah. So it is good. So there are many values, and it's good you're making it differently colored, so it becomes easier to handle. Okay, so as you can see, now what we have to do is we have to come out with some commonality, which means I'll just give you an example. Which value goes with which? So if you can see on the extreme right hand of the screen, if you can see, I think I have to share this, right? Because they won't be.
Even if you move it also, you can see it on my screen.
Yeah, so I think you are sharing it already. Yeah, okay, because even I have opened mine. That's the reason I got confused. Okay, fine. So as you can see in front of you on the right hand corner, it's two values written. I'm just giving you an example, then you have to do it yourself. Integrity goes with trust, right? A person who is trustworthy or even faithful is also integral. So integrity, trust, and faith go together. So like that, you have to just collate the values which are similar to each other and put it together. So you can do that. I think all of them have access to just move around and play around, right?
Yes. So they can move around.
So do you all know, you all will be feeling, "Arey, kaise kare?" So this is a Jamboard is a very fantastic way. It is like giving you a real experience in a virtual world, actually. So as if you are picking up the stickies from there and trying to put it together. So you all can start doing that.
And you can choose the third tool, which is the select tool. So when you click on the select tool, you can just go to a sticky note, pick it up, and maybe just collect them together like this. Like if this is the honesty pile, you can just move the honesty ones together. Okay?
So what Kosha has done is, so what Kosha has done is she's collecting all the repetitive values together. So which is okay, which is not a very big deal. You all can do that, but you all have to more importantly go more in the cognitive mode, think of how each value is related. So I think we can do this honest. There are so many of honesty.
That's what. That's why I was putting them in one side so we can see other things.
Yeah, good. So just take all the honesty away on that left hand. Okay, so yeah, you have to start becoming active. Or you all want us to do, if you're not comfortable, you all can tell me, so I'll put it together.
So what you have to do, so maybe Manoj, you can explain again what they have to do. How do they relate?
Okay, so I'll just do it again. I'll just show you all how to do. So as you can see, I'm on this because even Kosha Ben is doing, so they may just wonder what is happening. So that's okay.
I'm not doing now, they are only doing.
Yeah, that's okay. So you can see I'm putting the cursor on the right hand. Integrity is there. I just want to, I don't know why I can't click it.
You want to share your screen?
Yeah, but I think you can do. No, don't worry, because otherwise we'll have a lot of confusion what to do. So see, integrity Kosha is selected. Integrity goes with trust, and there are two trusts written there. So trust and integrity go together. Any other value which is very closely linked to trust? What do you feel? Participant? Yes, please go ahead.
Hope can go together.
Hope, okay. Hope with integrity. With trust, I think hope can go. Yeah, so maybe fine. Trust and hope can go together. Yeah, so good. Thank you, Jatin Charwar. You were, I think that's your name or it's someone else's name.
Someone else. That's Raksha.
That's my husband. Sorry, I forgot to change it.
No problem. So who is else saying? Achha, so Pooja has mentioned honesty, integrity, trust, and faith.
Okay,
so it's faith there. I really can't see faith anywhere here. Okay. Okay, so let me just guide you with this. So you all want to take gratitude. Gratitude goes with what?
Love.
Okay, love and gratitude go together. Shama is saying honesty with integrity. Yeah, so we have honesty over there already. Yes, Rama has said acceptance, positive,
empathy.
and cooperation. Okay, so empathy, yeah, goes with Swati.
Empathy can go with gratitude. Yeah.
Okay, so we can have gratitude, empathy, and love together. So hang on, who is doing this? Kosha is doing this, right?
I am doing it. I'm doing it.
Yeah, so just take these together, otherwise I'll totally get lost what is happening. So
Yeah, so
empathy,
I've taken them here at the bottom. Empathy, love, gratitude.
love, and compassion you have taken together. Okay, so now
Gratitude.
y'all can tell me tolerance goes with what? Do you feel patience and tolerance can come together?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll take tolerance and patience. Yeah, now people are saying yes. So you'll want someone to push you. Okay. Okay. Ashwini Bhai is saying acceptance ke saath empathy and tolerance. Okay. So acceptance and tolerance ek saath le sakte hain, right? I'm sorry if I have missed any other things in the past. Ajit said already integrity, trust, and cooperation. Okay. Rachna is saying love and optimism. And I think I need to again tell you all that we need to club the ones which are related. So love, optimism is something different. Hope you understand. Okay. Now let us take purity. It's there right in the center. So with purity,
Go with
what does
integrity.
Okay, purity and integrity go together. Fine. Then Raksha has mentioned practicality and honesty and optimism. I doubt a bit about that. Patience with
Flexibility.
problems. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, please speak.
Flexibility.
Flexibility
with
what?
practicality. With
Okay.
practicality.
Yeah, okay. So we'll just take flexibility to the practicality side. Kosha Bhen, here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Even balance can go with flexibility.
Yeah, okay. Balance, and you need to be flexible to have a balance, yes. What can peace go with? बेचारा
Purity.
अकेला पड़ा है.
Purity.
Okay. एक पीस को ले जाओ प्यूरिटी की तरफ से जगह खाली हो जाए वहां पे. Then what about creativity goes with which value? The more you are dash. Flexibility.
Flexible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Even with courage.
Courage and creativity. Say
Yes.
something more closer to courage. Who can be courageous? A person who is honest can be courageous.
Yes.
Yes.
Optimistic as well.
So that way we try to, actually none of you are wrong. All the values are interrelated to each other, absolutely. Because if you have one value, all the other values come like a makhi. But honest, like if we try to correlate its honesty and I said faith. Optimism goes with what? Optimism is another word for positivity, right? So
Yes.
can we, so optimism and positivity, we can take it together.
Go with honesty.
And compassion can go with gratitude.
Okay, right. And compassion, another word we say empathy, sympathy. So compassion,
Yes, empathy.
and gratitude. Okay, so you get it now, how we are trying to link the values. Okay, are people leaving and coming back, or these are totally new people? I mean, because constantly the screen is showing me 37 or 35, 40, because I think you're having internet connection.
They must be getting dropped.
Maybe. Okay, appreciation, appreciation रह गया. Appreciation किसके साथ जोड़ोगे?
Positivity,
Right.
optimism.
We have a beautiful module on positivity, and we are having 2 exercises on appreciation in that. So it goes with positivity very well. Yes.
Discipline. What about discipline?
Okay, discipline with what? Appreciation.
Appreciation and optimism.
Again, as I said, they should be more linked. So discipline will go with, check, there are many others. Like, see, honesty goes with openness. Openness is and honesty is together. You get the link? Yeah, so we'll take openness there. As I said, it's not wrong. It is just they have to be very close. So don't feel disheartened. No, mera le hi nahi raha hai koi. Don't feel that way. Anything else pending?
We have enthusiasm.
Yeah, enthusiasm goes. Yeah, so you can say that. Yeah, slightly closer to each other. Yeah.
Where? Discipline.
Enthusiasm with discipline. He's saying, yeah, they are close to each other here already. Right.
Can they be clubbed with optimism?
Optimism with enthusiasm, correct? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that also is fine. So we can club that together.
Even positivity can go with that.
With this one, okay. Okay, that's
Optimism
good.
and
so we have fairly big chunks, almost 7, 8 different. And gratitude is bichara akela, just with gratitude of yellow and green, green and blue and yellow. Yeah, so that's okay. So again, gratitude has come with something else. So that's fine. So what was the learning outcome of this activity? If you all just want to tell why are we doing this activity, it is we're actually playing game on the Jamboard, but through this playfulness, is it helping you in some way? If you all can share that, we have a couple of minutes to take sharings. Anyone?
It's giving some newness to our thinking.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I think if we have one of the this particular quality, along with it, all the grouped ones will come together.
Yes. So as I said, all these are interlinked, right? So it's very important. At Brahma Kumaris, I remember we have a beautiful picture of virtues. Everywhere it's written, dash value is the mother of this. So like purity is the mother of peace and prosperity, something like that. Sukh Shanti, Pavitrata Sukh Shanti ki janani hai. So purity is the mother of peace and Sukh and Shanti, so peace and happiness. So something like that. A lot of other values. So that this value is the king of all. So like that, if you try to, as you rightly said, I think it was Lita, she said that if we have one, we can develop one, the others will start coming to that. Yes. Any other thing? Yeah, Raksha was saying something. You're unmuted, Raksha Chhada. Okay.
Yeah,
No
so I
problem.
unmuted to just say that we are doing this activity so that we realize even unconsciously we are still inculcating so many other values with the one which we are conscious about.
Right, right. True. So, Koshaben, you want to write on this values that matter most to me, or I think we can take these sharings. We have a bit of time.
Okay, so you want me to jot it down?
No, I thought if people value 1, 2, and 3, so I think a few people, I would request those people who haven't shared so far, if you can just tell us those 3 values which matter most to you, and we'll write it down in these boxes. So we can do that. So Koshaben, the next slide after that, the 20 number slide.
Okay.
If you can just write it down here. So anyone wants to share? The problem with this is when we start taking your sharings and when we are writing also, we just can't see. So it's a bit difficult to manage that with Zoom. It's okay. So we can keep it incognito if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I will do that. So let me just pick up on your participants. Now I know who has not spoken. So can I ask Kajal Behan to share her values? Kajal and Mukta maybe? I think Mukta has already shared actually. Siddhi wants to share? Or Taran's sister? You'll just have to share your 3 values which are close to you or matter most to you. Sujata Behan can share? Are you all there or you all are just disappeared? No one is responding. So is it, yeah, who's that?
I'm Sujata.
Yeah, Sujata, go ahead. Yeah.
Enthusiasm. Sorry, I lost it actually.
No worries. So, any other thing?
I had 3 on my mind, but then I couldn't pen
You better
it down.
have it because in the meditation you have to work on
I'm
those.
sorry. I'm
So
sorry. I'm
that's
really
okay. So all of you remember 3 values. Now we have done so many. If you have forgot, that's okay. No worries. It's not a big deal. So you can just think of 2 more values and keep it because we'll be doing the meditation next activity. Yeah. Okay. So I think someone else also unmuted.
Yeah. So I had written. Yeah, I had said enthusiasm, self-belief, and grace.
Okay, enthusiasm, self-belief, and grace. So we'll go a bit faster so that we take more sharings. Deepak Bhai, go ahead.
Yeah, like these are the 3 values I'm lacking, so I selected them. So one is acceptance, other is balance, and the other is patience.
Acceptance, balance, and patience. So hope so, Kosha, you've written them. Okay.
Yeah.
Jaya is saying, Sister Jaya, commitment, dedication, and gratitude. Commitment, dedication.
One more thing I wanted to share, like the stuff that we did on the Jamboard. Actually, we do this in our huddles also, like agile huddle that I mentioned. So what this teaches us is it shares everybody's ideas are put forward, and we collectively jot down. So it increases the creativity.
Right, good. So the creativity also enhances. It's a fun way to learn, right? So good. Your creativity enhances. You know, VIHASA, all the exercises, they stimulate your right brain. As you are rightly saying, you become more creative. right? You're going back to your childhood days using all stickies and all these things. So it's a nice way to learn. So I think we can, since there are quite a few responses, so we'll move on to the next activity. I'm sure the learning outcome is already in place and you all know what we are doing. So with this, we move on to the next activity and Kosha Ben will take you into that. Over to you. Yeah.
So the next one is going to be a meditation experience, which is called experiencing personal values. Manoj, if you don't mind, would you be able to share screen like point of light and music while I do the commentary?
Yeah. I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. So whatever values that we picked, those 3 values that are important to you and that you want to probably inculcate or make stronger within yourself, I request you to think of those values. We will go into a small bit of a meditation experience and we're going to try and experience these values. Okay, so for that, I request you to sit down, sit comfortably. Try to make sure that there's no noise around you. If you're holding a pen, paper, even your phone, just try and place it on a desk or next to you. Okay, so sit comfortably on your seat and allow your body to relax. Let your feet rest on the floor and you can keep your hands on your lap. You can either keep your eyes open or closed. Manoj, I don't hear any music.
Sorry, I'll just play it for you. I felt you were sharing it. Sorry.
Thank you so much. Now, gently focus your awareness on your body and your breathing. Focus on your breath. Take a deep breath. And when you breathe out, let go of any tension, any stress that might be there in your body. Now take a deep breath in. And again, breathe out, letting go of any stress, any tension that you might have. Keep practicing this in breath and out breath and allow it to happen naturally according to your natural breathing rhythm. Gently in and as you focus on your breathing, you begin to feel relaxed. Your thoughts begin to slow down. And you feel very calm. In your mind, allow yourself to think of an image or feeling of your deepest inner values to arise. Focus on one value. Pick on one of your deepest values. Does any image, color, sound, phrase, anything associated with that value come to mind? Think about it. Think about anything that is associated with this value. Experience it. What is it like to be that value? Now, choose another value, a second value, and experience that as deeply as you can. Think of an image, color, sound, or any other association with that value. What is it like to be that value? Think about it and experience it. Now, after you've experienced your second value, let's think of a third value. Again, we will think of different associations with this value and try to get a sense of what it is really like to be this value. Now, remember all the three values, experiencing each one in turn. Think of the first value that you had. What did it feel like to experience that and be that value? And then think of the second value. How was it like to be that value? And then the third value. And what that experience was like. Gradually Become more aware of your body, sitting on the chair, sitting wherever you're sitting. Feel your feet. You can move them a little bit. You can move your fingers and toes a little bit. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the session. So could you all get into that meditation experience? Could you experience that? Yes? Could you experience all the three values that you had chosen? Okay, great. Thank you so much. So with this, we need to know that we can just inculcate these values by putting it into our subconscious and then using them in our everyday life. So it's already a part of us. We just need to arise it within ourselves and then use them every day. So with that, we move on to the next exercise that we have today, just taking values back to work. So now that, like Manoj Bhai had said earlier, how our sessions go is first we think about it on a superficial level. Okay, what are values, what we do with the value, maybe listing them. And then we slowly go deeper by figuring out which values matter most to me. You know, what is important to me? What am I maybe lacking or what I want to experience? And then we went a little more deeper where we actually try to experience it within ourselves and try to figure out what it would be like to actually be that value. And now we're going to go into a bit of an action planning mode, which Manoj Bhai is going to take us through, where we figure out how do I apply this value to my everyday life? How do I actually take these values back to my work life, you know, practically? So I request Manoj Bhai to take over and take us through the next activity. Thank you.
Thank you, Kosha sister. So I'm sure all of you are now very calm and cool inside. It's like, you have experienced that value inside now, and the activity itself was called experiencing that, but it's still a personal level. It has still not translated into your professional life. So I'm sure all of you are eagerly waiting to do that. So in the next half an hour, which is the last half an hour of the session today, what we'll do is we go in this action planning mode, as Kosha Bhen has also told you, I also told you. So what can we do? I'll just start sharing my screen so that we can take these values back to work. So what I'll do is we'll start with, again, before we go on to directly talking with each other and going in the sharing mode, we'll again go in a little bit of silence. I'll give you a little bit of guided commentary, not more, maybe 5 to 6 minutes. And again, as I would request all of you, you take a minute before we go in the meditative mode. Those three values need to come out. It should be on the conscious layer now of your mind. So let's just sit back, relax your body. Try to sit upright, not in a supine or recumbent position. Sit upright straight. Take a few deep breaths in and out and experience the peace within. You can hear some noises in the background maybe. But just let go of those thoughts. Create this beautiful thought that I am peace. My original nature is peace and only peace. And now, in this peaceful state of mind, let me just look at those three values one by one. Let us take the first value. Visualize that you are off to your workplace now. It's a Monday morning. See yourself at the workplace using this first value. Am I able to use it? Yes. Just one thought away. It may be a bit difficult to start with, but I can always try. You see yourself interacting with people with that particular value. And look at, or rather, feel your state of mind. What are you feeling using that value? Now, let's move on to the second value. Again, see yourself using that value. Maybe if not at workplace, while in transit towards the workplace, or coming back again in transit, whatever suits you. You may be stuck in the traffic, en route, or coming back from work. Use that value. And again, this value is to be used not to correct people, it's only for myself. Do you feel good using this second value? Ask yourself. And enjoy the beautiful feeling it generates. And now, having experienced at workplace two values, let's move on to the third one. Let's go a bit more deeper and tell yourself, this third value, can I be an embodiment of that? Which means uska swaroop. The value becomes a part of my system. I don't have to think about using it. It is just a natural aspect of me. So look at the third value as being the embodiment, swaroop of that value. And it's so effortless that you're using that value without even knowing it. and you now analyze how are you feeling. Maybe at workplace, interacting with colleagues, or while in transit to or from the workplace. So now hold on to these beautiful feelings which you have generated related to those three values, and let's come back. So what we do now is, in this beautiful, nice state of mind and nice feeling, what you do is choose a value which you will take back to work for each situation below. So there are a couple of situations which we'll be giving you. So first is, note down some practical ways in which you could express this value through your own behavior. I'll just read out first and then you'll reflect on that and write. Why I did this meditation is that your mind is fully cool and you're becoming an embodiment of that value. You're experiencing that value. So it will be easier now to write down the practical ways. So first is, in which you could express this value through your own behavior and any changes you might want to make. So changes could be, you can change the administrative system, which is a bit difficult to achieve, but some resolution, some discipline in the administrative system where you are working can be changed. So that is the change which we mean. So one is change in the self, and second is change in something outside. So these are the three things which I was wanting to tell you. Which value will I use with my patients or clients? How? So these two questions will again and again come. Which one, which value, and how do I use? So if you don't have any, if you're not a doctor, which I'm sure not many are here, I'm sure you're having clients. Or if you don't even have clients, you'll be interacting with people at some level or the other. So you can just think of that. So it could be someone who is junior to you. You can think of that. If you're in a position, you're a manager, for example, then someone who's junior to you, that is the first thing. The second one is, which value will help with my manager or colleague, which means if you're a manager, someone senior to you, senior or equal. So that is the meaning of manager and colleague. So the first one is about someone junior to you. Second is someone who's senior or equal level of you. And third is, which value will inspire me throughout my working day. Right? So if you can just, again, I'll play the music, just be in this beautiful state which you're already in, and reflect on these questions, and then we'll take your sharings. If you feel, I'm sorry to interrupt you in your reflection, but I just want to clarify this. If you feel those three values which you have chosen, they would be now really ingrained inside. You feel they are not fitting anywhere here. That's perfectly fine. You can just choose some other value and write it down. If they are not fitting, if they are fitting, it's perfect.
Why we have a question, can it be more than one value for a particular situation?
Yes, it could be absolutely fine. At least one is essential, more than one is also perfectly fine. So a couple of people have done. We'll just wait for the other people. Next 2 minutes, we'll wait for 2 more minutes. Yes, welcome back. Hope you're not in the meditative mode anymore. Well, in the sharing mode now. So people have started responding, but I will request people to, again, those people who haven't shared since morning are requested to do it first. You all want to start unmuting, or I'll start picking up on people again? Anyone? You can raise your hands if you want. Okay, all are silent. So Divya wants to share. Hansa has unmuted. You want to go ahead, Hansa Ben?
Yes, brother. Good morning. The value which I feel, which I probably use most of the time, is believing others and not judging them. Okay. And after believing in what they're doing or thinking, of course, not judging them. And I also, it is followed by being patient and to give them some time, like that. Thank you.
Right. So being patient and non-judgmental and believing in them. Good. Okay. Anyone else? Shivanshi. People who have joined new and who haven't shared before. Sujata has raised your hand. Yeah, go ahead, Sujata Ben.
Yeah. Sorry, I got lost the last time you asked me. So I decided to come back because the meditation really helped me get back those things that I had lost because of the clutter in my mind. The three values that I want to inculcate in myself are enthusiasm, courage, and practicality. Like most of the times, I feel that I think with my heart and not my brain. So I need to be more practical. And the plan, like what I could do, is first thing is like last time I got the feedback that I should smile. So that could be the first thing I could do in order to show my enthusiasm or rather bring it out of me. Courage is, I want to speak out what I feel. And practicality is I'll try to, now that's also try, think with my brain and not my heart.
Okay, good. Thank you. So I think I would also want other people to share about those three. It's good you all have shared about the three values. Everything is 3 in today's part 2. So if you all want to share on those three aspects, dealing with a junior, if you're having a patient or even a client, dealing with a senior, and then the third one is what value inspires me generally throughout the entire day. So before I go to Lita, I think I'll just take Lita. You're sharing a bit later. Let me just see who I think I might ask Shivanshi. Shivanshi, you want to go ahead and share? Yeah, you have written. Actually, you're new here. Okay, fine. So go ahead, Lita sister. Yeah.
Yeah, which value will I use with the clients or patients? It would be enthusiasm and honesty, because the enthusiasm in me is what probably will work positively for my clients or patients. And the honesty itself also will make them trust me and my healing techniques. So that is what I will be doing. And the value which will that I'll use with my colleagues would be openness and enthusiasm again, because both the things are going to inculcate the same thing amongst them, and then we can work as a team better. And the value which will inspire me throughout my working day, again, it is enthusiasm, because that's going to make me have a lot of energy and happiness and peace and work dedicated, like I will be really dedicated towards my work.
Right. Thank you. So Koshaben is giving you a little bit of concession. She's asking you to just share a general action plan which you may be having after this almost 2 hours now of the workshop is getting over. So some action plan you have in your mind now. So you want to share that also is fine. Yeah. So
it would be like, the clients.
No, sorry, I didn't mean it for you.
Or the
I just
patients
said,
that I will be seeing. Is it for me or is it for someone else?
It's not for you.
It's
Sorry.
for everyone in general.
It's for you have actually done a good job. You already done the 3 things. So it's for everyone. Okay, so silence means या तो सब कुछ अच्छा है या dash dash. Okay, anyway, I am not taking the dash dash thing. सब कुछ अच्छा ही है. Yeah, Selamuthu Bhav, at least he smiled and laughed. So maybe you want to share something? You want to say something?
Well,
ahead,
I work in a corporate environment. So, first of all comes the guest. Guest is our clients or patients. So, unconditional acceptance, So, that is what we will put forward, because just like a guest coming home, we just accept them, no? Right? And then when it comes to the management, it's a question of discipline. But at the same time, I would also use forgiveness when things don't go the way it is expected to. And then in my own life, throughout the day, practicality, because there are so many limitations. So I have to be practical if I am to maintain my peace and happiness.
Right. Good. Thank you for sharing. So people now, I can presume, who have started unmuting themselves and started showing their videos want to speak. Good. So Anurag bhai, go ahead.
Dr. Saab, I like your sense of humor.
Thank you.
Shanti. Well, I'm a slow writer. In my job profile, I hardly use pen. So my Guruji also say that कि मैं चोरी करता हूँ पढ़ने और लिखने की. Because I'm a crew member, I work in an airline. So I've tried to write as much as I can. Which value will I use with my customers? I've used a couple of them. As I said earlier, that treating them as I would like to treat myself, and being consistent with what I am doing, because 8 hours to 9 hours of journey, sometimes we are tired, and by the end of the journey, we start feeling exhausted, and we get a little complacent also. I'm not talking that everybody does that, but yes, sometimes in that natural human behavior. So my takeaway would be that I need to be consistent from the time I am with my customer till the time landing happens and they disembark. So yeah, there are a couple of other points as well. You want me to go through all of them or just one?
No, I think one is okay. And we just wanted to say anything else you wanted to say related to that activity. The second, with your, you said about, with your clients, you said, with your seniors, with your seniors.
With my manager and my colleagues, subordinates, I would say not judging them, not having a biased attitude with what they are saying or what they are doing or what they've been doing in the past many years since we're working together. So taking on the day and judging them, not judging them, but being compassionate and again treating them as I would like to be treated. because they also coming, especially in situation like these. We haven't flown since I haven't flown since December, so everybody's going through a very tough time in in personal sphere of life. So when we do actually pick up that uniform, and God willing, if Baba sends us to the aeroplane sooner, then I would think of what I have gone through in last these months, and then would treat them as I have as I've gone through. I would think in my head, in my brain, that yes, these individuals have also gone through a lot. They may have lost someone in their family or friends. So compassion would be the first thing, and treating them as I would treat myself with
Okay,
my
good.
colleagues.
So, yeah, so good. Initially, you said non-judgmental. I really don't prefer that word, but that's nice. You said the value is compassion. So, a beautiful word that is. And good. Thank you for sharing. Ashwini bhai, आपको भी share करना है कुछ हिंदी में? Feel free to share. Okay.
शांति जी, मेरे लिए जो वैल्यू है
भाई आपकी आवाज क्लियर नहीं।
आपका आवाज बहुत बहुत ही ऐसे आई डोंट नो ग्रफ, मतलब बहुत रफ ऐसे आवाज आ रहा है, समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कुछ।
नेक्स्ट सोल्यूशन है, तो इसलिए चैट बॉक्स में लिखा है।
आप नहीं तो चैट बॉक्स में टाइप करो। या सूरज ब्रदर इज वॉकिंग, यू वांट टू शेयर समथिंग about the activity, not general things. Okay,
आपको
fine.
अनम्यूट करना पड़ेगा सूरज भाई जी. You may have to unmute yourself.
I've asked you to unmute Suraj bhai. You can do that. Okay. So there's noise pollution, Ashwini bhai is saying. Yeah, go ahead, Suraj brother. Yeah.
Just want to say that we need to be a detached observer, and in that way we can, we can follow the Baba's Srimad, and be compassionate towards all the souls, so that we can, we can appreciate each other's activities.
Okay, good. Where are you joining from, brother? Suraj?
I'm joining from Coimbatore.
Coimbatore. Okay, good. Thanks. So, so Ashwini has written that with, I think Ashwini is a doctor, right? Or a paramedical. Ashwini bhai? Okay,
No,
anyway.
I'm a ward assistant. I'm a ward assistant.
Yeah, so you are somewhere in the paramedical field. I know, I remember that. Therefore, so उन्होंने patient लिखा है. He's saying sympathy and empathy, which also are a part of compassion, and also cooperation, unconditional love. Okay, so I think with this we'll just try to end. It's 5 minutes left, and Koshaben, I'll just make a few announcements also, because we haven't got that slide, and I think quite a few people join. You all join our values workshops, right? VIHASA is something different. It's a modular program, and we have those values workshops. I'm sure you all have joined us. The last one was with Sister Aruna Ladwa. I'm sure many of you were there that time. So we finished Sister Jayanti's talk yesterday on economy. And normally what we do is 1 week after that, we do the values workshop. So values workshop on economy. So now really Anurag brother के style में मैं भी बात कर रहा हूँ. Brace yourself, अपनी seat belt बांध के रखो and all that. For the workshop on that, you will enjoy it, because we have again Sister Aruna. There are more and more surprises. I'm not outing all of them now. Who will be other speakers for the workshop? But it will be Sister Aruna, and we usually do that too. They usually have 2 consecutive sessions. That's what they are holding on to, and Baba is really helping us to do that. So they are very more than happy to do that. So she'll be again be there with us, and I think it is the next Sunday. So it's same time, but it is remember, we'll just tell you the time, whether it's 8:30 India time or 9 o'clock. We'll just send out the invitations to you. But again, be there for those 2 hours workshop on economy. And with this, I would just like to say over to you, Koshaben. We have 3 more minutes. What else you want to do? Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to say that if anyone has any questions, you can write us on our email ID. I'm just going to quickly put it on screen for you. We have this once a month on a Sunday. So if you want to join us on our WhatsApp group, you'll be updated on when the next session would be. And also we have, like Manoj Bhai said, we have other values workshops and these talks that we have, values for life series talks. So if you want to be updated on any of that information, I have shared the link to the WhatsApp group on the chat box. So you just have to click on the link and you will automatically join our WhatsApp group. Don't worry, you will not be spammed on it. And once we decide the dates for our July session, our July Sunday VIHASA workshop, we will announce that on the WhatsApp group and you'll get flyers like you did for this time. So thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciated your time. And if anyone wants to, give us feedback about what you thought of the session, if you think we can improve ourselves anywhere, you just want to share how you felt about the workshop, maybe we can have that for a minute or two if anyone wants to say something.
And do you all want a group photo? Is anyone into photos? Dehabhan, body consciousness. I should not be saying that, but photos are just a reminder. So do you all want to just switch on your cameras and maybe we can just take a quick photograph? Kushaman, I'm doing that and you can also do one.
Yeah.
So let me just go on the first page. Hang on, give me some time, please. Don't switch off soon. Yes, so I did the first page. Let me just copy paste it. I'm a bit slow with this. You have to bear with me. Okay. Yeah, and I'll do the second page. Just a moment. Yeah, second page people are almost the same. Okay, that's fine. But thank you all of you all for opening your cameras. And your next thing, yeah, you can ask the questions and comments if you have anything. You all can just feel free.
So if anyone wants to just even share how the experience was today, any scope for us to improve ourselves, anything at all, we have a minute or two. So you can unmute yourself.
Otherwise, traffic control करके जाना पड़ेगा 12 तक. It's okay. It's not binding. Fine. Just kidding. Right.
We're getting some comments on the chat group where they're saying thank you, and some people said it was good, and they seem to have enjoyed the session.
Thank you, Baba. All thanks to Baba.
Linda has raised her hand. Would you like to share something?
Yeah, of course, it was really very nice. For me, it was like I have kept my camera off because I'm actually on bed rest. So that's why I kept it off. But this was very good for me. Only thing I felt was about the values that we meditated on. Those were already like there in us. That is what was told. But if I want to inculcate a new value, which I'm unable to right now because there's some block which is happening. So in that case, I think something can be done. Because I really want that, but I'm unable to do it because of some reasons. So that would really help.
We'll try and inculcate that. Thank you.
Right.
And also, maybe we can even think of it like all the values kind of are interrelated, right? That was our 1.4 activity. So sometimes we can even think of it in a way that if I have one value, it kind of, and I work more on it, it kind of brings along the other values. So technically, we might already have all these values deep inside us, and we just kind of have to realize that and bring it up. That's one way of thinking about it, but we'll try and do a meditation about it next time maybe.
And just for my knowledge, before we leave the last half minute or 1 minute, how many of you have done the 7-day Raj Yoga meditation course? Leeta sister, have you done it? Or you have? Anurag
I have not done.
Okay, so I would recommend, like, once you're out of bed, or even nowadays we have a lot of, so Kosha Ben can help if there are any online Zoom courses, which Deepa Ben would be doing it from Vile Parla. So that's what I felt. So good, you have shared your video. So good, your sharings were beautiful. So I think you need to do a regular meditation on a regular basis. You have to do that, listen to the Murli, and it will be very, very easy to inculcate that value. So I would recommend you that 7-day Raj Yoga meditation course. Okay. Yeah.
So maybe Lita Ben can just either email or give me her number on personal chat or something like that. And next time we have because all the Raj Yoga sessions are now online. So if you're really interested, I could just let you know the next time it's happening. And it's just like a 1-hour session that you just have to listen to over Zoom. And if you're interested, and it's not going to be interactive, you can just listen, that's okay too. So whoever's interested, just write to me, write to the email ID that's flashing on screen, and I'll get in touch with you.
Yeah, so I think there are quite a few Koshaben actually. So
Yeah.
Prajakta's sister is also saying, and then Latik. So if you all can just keep in touch with Koshaben through that email which you all are getting the business. I'm sure they are getting the BI wing, business industry wing ka
Not
email.
everyone is. Not
Not
everyone knows.
everyone. So
Some
just
people
for
are not. Yeah.
so how Prajakta and Latika, they will they be in touch with you then? Otherwise, they will
Yeah.
just be lost
So
from here. That's the
yeah.
reason.
So please, I request you to kind of just
Just tell your
note
numbers if
this
you
down.
don't mind sharing it with Koshaben now itself. Yeah. Okay. I think Anurag bhai, you have to say something. You were raising your hand.
Yes, Manoj bhai, I just wanted to quickly urge all those who are first timers or are very new to this. I would quickly say that if you are being guided, then this is certainly the best platform for you to proceed and to be able to guide it by mentors like Manoj bhai and Diri. Because I've been in the knowledge for almost 6 years. I fail every year. Baba keeps telling me that you're still in nursery. I'm trying to qualify from nursery to LKG and UKG in this lockdown. So, but this is the best thing which has happened to me so far. The knowledge and the divine family, not only in Delhi, but with technology is so beautiful that I don't even know. I haven't met Manoj bhai yourself for forever. I mean, never ever. But then through Amrita Didi, Aruna Didi, who sent me this link of workshop and has sent me earlier links as well. And of course, then I got connected with you guys. It's so beautiful that in this technological world, online classes, online guidance, it's now or never, I would say. So if you are here for a reason, God has a plan for you. Please carry on with the spirit and be guided with the divine's blessings.
Good. Thank you, Anurag bhai. So actually, Suraj has mentioned, and I myself don't know. I'm so sorry. So people who are new to this, who don't even know about Rajoga meditation, so please feel free to share your numbers here. We'll take a quick snapshot and then we'll just keep in touch with you and make you a part of these values workshops and VIHASA as well. So I think you all can write. I think majority of you all are a part of that already. Okay. So we'll spend a minute in silence and stop then. So thank you once again. Om Shanti. See you all soon again.